Hello guys and welcome here to PTG. Well, I'm Starboy and I'm making this video as the ultimate reality creation video you ever need to watch or listen to in order to master your mind. So without further ado, let's start. Okay? So first of all, let's start from the beginning, all right? So let's talk about God. Okay? God the creator. God the creator of the universe. Well, you must realize that God is consciousness. Okay? God is consciousness. God is intelligent, and in order to be intelligent, God needs to be conscious. Okay? So God is conscious or consciousness. Okay? And so are you. Also, you need to understand that. So, what is consciousness, right? Consciousness is attention, right? When you put your attention into something, you're putting your consciousness into something. You're putting your awareness into something. Consciousness, awareness, attention, all synonyms, all right? So keep that in mind and never forget God is consciousness. So if God is consciousness, then attention is God, because attention is consciousness as well. Okay? So that's the first thing I want to put it very clear. Okay? So again, God is consciousness. Okay? Now talking about, so then people ask, so okay, so God is perfect, God is consciousness, so how does God knows everything and is everywhere? How does that work, right? Well, and it's basically, you need to understand that the universe, this physical universe that we live in, this universe is built. I like to call the universe the server, by the way. So there is God, right? Attention, consciousness. And then there is the server, aka the 3D, aka the real world, aka the universe, aka the matrix. Okay? So that we live in. And you need to understand that God, or better, the server is created on top of God. Okay? So there is God, consciousness, and the server is created on top of God. And this is how God knows everything. This is how God is everywhere. Because the physical plane that we exist in is built on top of God. All right? So basically, what happens? So God is consciousness, all right? This spirit, this attention with no body, right? No physical body. And then He created this place, this physical place, okay? And basically, what did He do? He created vessels of flesh and bone for His consciousness to inhabit inside those vessels of flesh and bone. If you want to understand it from another perspective, He created these little machines of flesh and bone that we call humans or bodies, right? And He created those little machines of flesh and bone so He can put His spirit, He can put His consciousness inside those little machines, and then it can play on those machines inside the server. I know this is a lot for a first timer that never heard this before, but I know it's a lot to digest, but it is how it is. So God, consciousness, the spirit, the whole, He created this physical plane on top of Him, and then inside this physical plane, He created these little machines of flesh and blood that we call bodies, and He created these little machines so He can put His consciousness inside those bodies so He can play inside the server. He can play on real life. He can live life. Okay? I know this is a lot, And let's continue. So inside these machines of flesh and blood, okay, he created males and females, all right? And males are the most accurate representation of God, so to say. They are the main character of the server, males, all right? Human males. If you see a human male, that's the epitome of perfection, okay? Compared to females, we are stronger, we are faster, we have way better odds of surviving than women. So God is literally, you can see that you can say that males are the main character of the server. And then females are a companion to the main character. Okay, the females are not the main character. The main character is males, and females are basically a creature to help the males in their journey. And remember, what do most guys do and what the society do nowadays? They want to invert this, right? They want to give more value to the woman, and that is totally against nature, right? So between a male and a woman, objectively, the male has always more value. It's a more perfect creature than a woman. And a woman, if you look closely, is obsessed. Women, as a whole, in general, as a group of people, women are obsessed with male attention. Isn't that curious? Because it will be the same as saying females as a whole are obsessed with male consciousness, with God Himself. So male attention is the most important thing that exists in creation, in real life. I'm going to say this again. Male attention, your attention, is the most important thing that exists. And women are really desperate for male attention. They will go to great lengths to get male attention. With all of this said, I'm just laying out how this is built, how the world is built. With all of this said, let's just summarize. So, God is consciousness. He built the physical plane on top of Him. He created little machines of flesh and blood so He can put His consciousness inside those machines and play in those machines in real life. Okay? Those machines, they have a hierarchy. Males are the main character. Females are the secondary character. And attention, male attention, especially male attention, because attention is consciousness and consciousness is God. Male attention is the most important resource on this server, on the physical realm, on real life. So this is how the world is structured, a very fundamental view, fundamental simplistic way of explaining it. And just the last piece of the puzzle is the following. So remember, God is playing, so God exists as a spirit, and then God is also exists playing inside these little machines in real life. Us, okay? Humans. Now, one very small little detail, God created a moderator, okay, to manage the server, to manage real life while he is playing. Okay, so he can chill and play. He doesn't have to manage this shit. Okay, he doesn't have to manage like, oh, is it going to rain? Oh, is there going to be enough water on the server? Oh, is there enough oil or whatever the fuck? Like, no, God created a moderator to manage this place while he is basically enjoying playing, right? Just overviewing and playing, right? It's just basically overviewing, seeing if the manager is doing a good job. Okay, the manager is doing a good job. Let me just play. Okay, this is what God does. Okay, and by play, again, remember, you are God. Okay, you are consciousness, you are attention. Attention is God. You are God. This moderator, okay, people like to call it the devil or something like that, but we'll get into it soon. So this was a very, very simple way of explaining. The truth is here in what I said. I know it's very dense. And remember, any doubts, just use this server to clear the doubts. I know people will be happy to help you with your doubts regarding this. So I just explained to you the worldview, and now I'm going to explain to you how to actually create your reality. Okay, so let's say it even better. Now I'm going to say to you how to basically get the reality that you dream of. Okay, and that's already the first step of all. And what is the first step? The first step to actually achieving greatness is you wanting to change. Okay, you wanting to basically, okay, I'm tired of my current life, I want better. This is the first thing you must have. If you don't have this, don't even go further. You need to have this of like, okay, my life is good or my life sucks. It's nice, but I want even better. I want to change. I want greatness. That's the first step of all. So I want you to understand the following. It all starts with consciousness. Okay, so consciousness. Okay, then there is attention and imagination. Then there is thoughts and feelings. And then there is being, and it all culminates in action. Let's start. So, remember, attention is God. And then you have imagination. Okay? And attention and imagination are all contained inside your consciousness. They are inseparable. Okay? So if you have consciousness, you have attention, and you have imagination. Now let me blow your mind. This is the Holy Trio, by the way. This is the Holy Trinity. Consciousness, attention, imagination. Let me blow your mind. You are conscious, you are aware, you are awake. Okay? You are conscious, you are aware, you are awake. And with your imagination, you see things inside your head. And with your attention, you fixate on things. Okay? I know I'm talking very simplistically here. Bear with me. So, your imagination, what is the purpose of your imagination? Your imagination, in reality, is a tool that you have inside of you that allows you to access parallel realities. I'm going to repeat. Your imagination is a tool that you have inside of yourself that allows you to access parallel realities. So when you are imagining something, you're not creating anything. You're just basically accessing a parallel reality where that shit is there, already exists. This is why you can see it inside your head. You're accessing another dimension, and you're accessing basically another parallel reality, a parallel reality where that shit exists. Okay? So what you need to understand is that creation is finished. And what does that mean? That means, so creation is finished. It means that there is an endless number, billions and trillions of parallel realities. I like to say all parallel realities exist. Okay, so the scenario or parallel reality where, so if you can imagine yourself as being poor, that parallel reality exists. If you can imagine yourself as being rich, that parallel reality exists. Okay, so all parallel realities exist. Okay, and now the crazy part is, the next logical question is, okay, so what parallel realities become true? And the answer to that is the parallel realities that become true are the parallel realities that are embodied. Okay? And embodying a parallel reality, you need to give it your full attention to that. So, to put it very simple, like I already said before, and I hope you bear with me until now, I'm going to go full circle here and give you a full guide. To put it very simple, attention is God, like we already established, okay? Because attention is consciousness and consciousness is God. So attention is God, aka you are God, okay? So attention is God, that's number one. Number two, creation is finished, which means all parallel realities exist. And number three, there is only the now moment. So number one, attention is God. Number two, creation is finished. Number three, there is only the now. And that is the truth. There is only the now. The past and the future, even though you know they aka exist logically in your mind, because you can think about the past, right? The past already happened and you can think about it and you can kind of predict the future on a very short-term basis, right? So in your mind, they logically exist. But in reality, if you look closely, like if you actually look closely, the past and the future are basically just human constructs. They don't actually exist. You can't go to the past and you can't go to the future. So there is only the now. And now let's say again, number one, attention is God. Number two, creation is finished. Number three, there is only the now. So all that matters, and I hope you are listening closely, all that matters is what parallel reality am I embodying right now? In what parallel reality am I in right now? And it's a choice. It's a conscious choice. You are not a victim. A weak guy is a guy who lets external influences dictate in what parallel reality they are in. A weak guy is a guy that lets external influences dictate what parallel reality he can embody. That is a weak person. A strong person is a person who embodies the parallel reality he wants, regardless of circumstance. That's a strong person, and that's, being true to yourself. That's called being congruent. That, like, even if circumstances point to the opposite, you don't identify with it for some reason. Okay? So number one, attention is God. Number two, creation is finished. All realities exist. All parallel realities exist. Number three, there is only the now. And the parallel realities that become true, the realities that become true are the parallel realities that are embodied. So all that you have to do is take the now moment that is always happening. It's happening right now. You take right now and you decide, okay, I am right now I am embodying the parallel reality where I am who I desire to be. Right now, I am who I desire to be. Right now, I am being who I desire to be. And that's all that matters. Because in the end, it's all about consciousness, attention, imagination, thoughts, feelings, being. Consciousness, attention, imagination, thoughts, feelings, being. And all of these, the combination of these will result in actions. Okay? So don't think with your attention, or don't attention is just one part of it. Don't just think about the parallel reality you want to embody. You need to be that. You need to being that. You need to embody that. And now the question, like, right, for a logical person, will be like, okay, I'm listening to this, and okay, I get it. I get it. There is only the now. I get it. The attention is God. Creation is finished. All parallel realities exist. So parallel realities exist. All parallels exist. Okay, I understand that. I understand that there is a parallel reality where I'm rich. I understand there's a parallel reality where I'm poor. I understand there's a parallel reality where I'm a womanizer. I understand there's a parallel reality where I'm very shy. I understand all of this. And I understand that the parallel reality that becomes true are the parallel realities that are embodied. Okay, I can understand that shit. So now the logical question is, okay, so how the fuck do I embody the parallel reality that I want? And that is the $1,000,000 question. I have the answer. You may not like the answer. You know that movie scene where it's like, I want the truth, and it's like, no, you can't handle the truth. You know, all of that shit. This applies to here. Because that's the $1,000,000 question. How do I embody the parallel reality that I want? How do I reality create the reality where I am this amazing motherfucker? How do I embody that? How do I embody this? Starboy, tell me. For sure, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the truth. You may not like it. And I hope you study this video 100 times, you know, because there is a lot here. And if you study it 100 times, believe me, it will be. Imagine you spend like 1 week or whatever, you know, watching this shit 100 times. You'll still have spent way less time than you have to search around for all of these answers, you know. Probably to get all of these answers, you need years and years and years that I'm giving you in this small video. So the answer, we know enough with the suspense. Okay, so remember, the holy trio: attention is God, creation is finished, there is only the now. Okay, that's the holy trio. So all that matters is what parallel reality are you embodying right now, because the now is all that exists. So right now, you know, in what parallel reality are you in? Blah, blah, blah. And again, the question, you know, for a logical guy will be, okay, so how do I embody the parallel reality that I want? And the answer to that, it's the truth. You may not like it. The answer to that is simple. The answer to that is the following sentence: go full schizo. Okay, that's the answer for that. How do I embody the parallel reality that I want? The answer is go full schizo. Okay, and you may not like these answers, like, what the fuck, this guy's telling me to go schizo? And the answer is yes. That's really how you do it. If you want to embody the parallel reality that you are great and you aren't great, yes, you're being schizo. And you need to go full schizo for that shit to become true, because you know the principles. The principles are attention is God, creation is finished, there is only the now. And the parallel reality that becomes true are the parallel realities embodied right now. So the answer is to go full schizo. You may not like this shit, but it's the truth. I call it schizo mode. So imagine I'm laying in my couch, okay? I'm laying in my couch, watching TV or whatever, right? And I ask myself, okay, fuck, Jesus. And I catch myself. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I was watching, like, oh, fuck. So it's like, where am I being right now, right? And it's like, okay, I'm being a millionaire, right? I'm being a millionaire, And my mind is like, oh, shut up, bro. You're schizo, man. And the only answer to that is the correct answer, is I know. So when your mind calls you out, when your conscious filter calls you out that you're being schizo, you acknowledge it. You don't run away. You don't try to fight it. You acknowledge it. You're like, yep, I am being schizo. In fact, I'm activating schizo mode. I'm on fucking schizo mode right now. I am being schizo. And what can your mind can say? It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, fuck, do whatever you want. Like, Jesus Christ. I'm not going to debate the schizo. This is probably what your conscious mind thinks. And probably conscious mind will be like, oh, no, maybe if it's a little more stubborn, we're like, oh, what the fuck, you're being schizo, you're making a fool out of yourself, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, schizo mode. I know I'm being schizo. Thanks for the tip, logical mind. Thanks for the tip. Bye. I'm going to continue on my schizo mode. And you continue on schizo mode. And after some time you catch yourself not being in schizo mode, and you just repeat this fucking process. Because the answer to how do I embody the parallel reality where I am a millionaire, the answer to that is always go full schizo. And I know it's uncomfortable. I know it's an uncomfortable truth, but it's still true. Study this video, guys. Love you all.